Hello, T-Bird fans, and welcome back to another great episode here with our men's soccer coaches. Here with us, we have Connor and Ben once again. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
And it's a pleasure as always to have you, and we've got a lot to cover today. So 3 games in the past and then another 2 here at home. Let's, as usual, get started with the good, the bad, and what can be improved upon from these last 3 games.
Should we keep this rolling, Connor, and you talk about the good?
Yeah, let's go for it. So against Central, 3 goals at home. It's nice to be back at home, get that full game experience like we were talking about in the previous shows. Got off to a little bit of a rough start, and again, it was a windy day here in Casper, so that's always tough to deal with the elements. But if it's tough for our opponents, it's obviously going to be tough for us as well. So we just had to grind and push through it, and luckily against Central we did. We had Cole step up with a penalty, and then Yuto Hatayama with 2 goals to kind of bring us back from that game. And then moving on to, who was it? Western Nebraska. Again, we knew they were going to be a tough physical opponent, and we liked the response in the second half from our team. Even though we didn't get a goal, we prevented them from getting a shot on us, and we felt like we dominated the game and changed our game plan, and it just didn't fall for us that day. So yeah, we liked our response, but we're still looking to get that 90-minute game like we've been talking about in the previous shows.
Absolutely.
The good, right? So again, the good is the response, right? So the response against Central was good to score 3 goals and get a win, and then Western Nebraska. That's soccer, right? We outshoot them, 10-3 or something like that, and lose 1-0. And so Todd Raznick, the coach over at Western Nebraska, has got a good group of guys. They work really hard. They're organized. They got some good players, and so but that's soccer, and it happens on once or twice a year, right? Where you feel like you did great and did what you need to do to win the game, and then you don't. And so sometimes, the joke is that it's a cruel sport. And so, that was a tough one against Western Nebraska. And then we followed up, with Northwest yesterday, same thing. You feel like at the game, you have the game under control, and then you don't, and then you're down a goal. And so we liked the response yesterday to score the tying goal late in the game, to give us an opportunity to get a tie yesterday. And again, we talk a lot about our team, about just one game at a time, and we've battled some elements. We've battled some wind and some rain yesterday. It was almost like somebody turned the sprinkler on, right? And it just came on, and it was raining on us yesterday. And honestly, like, we don't play a lot of games in the rain. We're in a dry climate. So, so that they had a good shot. Skips, Talon Lucky was kind of unlucky not to make that save. Talon Lucky was unlucky. And that's a save we see him make all the time, but the wet grass took a nasty skip in front of him, like I said. And then Show, gets a goal late in the game. And so I was, pleased that we were able to fight and continue to fight and continue to grind, to get a goal late in the game to get a tie. And now what do we call it? Right now the season really begins, right? We're 0-0 right now, so.
Yeah, we have the conference play coming up now. So, yeah, that'll be some very important stuff. But I'm going to back up just a little bit before we start talking about future stuff. You mentioned the wind and the elements, and these last 3 games, honestly, have all been super windy. What is it like playing within those? Because it's coming one direction, and you're switching it at halftime. Is it easier to play into the wind, with the wind? Explain a little bit more.
So we've kind of, as a coaching staff, we kind of have a pretty good understanding. When we go into the wind, certain things got to happen for us to be successful. When we are going with the wind, certain things need to happen for us to be successful, offensively and defensively, and so we're getting used to it. But it does neutralize a little bit of the game, right? And so, some certain aspects of the game are different when the wind is blowing like that. And so, we talk to our guys and try to prep them, and then we don't use it as an excuse, though. Hey, listen, we get the win for a half, they get the win for a half. It is what it is. Let's not use that as an excuse and come out and just be better. Be better than them, be better than the refs, be better than the rain, just be better in all circumstances and get a result. Sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't, right? So, peaks and valleys.
Absolutely. So the wind, and then so Saturday's game against Western Nebraska, and I absolutely agree after watching especially the second half, you get kind of an unlucky bounce. Hugo kind of bounces over his hands. It's like, okay, well, what you going to do? But absolute response from the men, and that Western Nebraska goalkeeper just had some sticky hands that game.
Yep.
He had plenty of great shots.
Made some great saves. All right, and that's what you need, right? You need a goalie. So hats off to that young man, for making the saves when he needed to make saves. And as a goalie, as a coaching staff, you ask your goalie to do that. Hey, listen, when we need a big save, make a big save. And then the rest of the time, let's be clean. And so on that day, their goalie made a big save and we didn't, right? And even though in the second half they had 0 shots on us in the second half, that one goal that they scored was enough, right? And so again, it is what it is. And so you try to regroup and gather your guys, round up the troops, so to speak, and get ready for the next one.
All right. And then speaking about goalies, you've had Talon Lucky, who's been lucky and unlucky at times. Tell us about have you seen some improvement? Has he kind of taken charge with this more playing time?
Yeah, for sure. So over the offseason, we really challenge our guys to kind of mature and hone their skills from what they learned from their first year of college soccer. And we feel like Talon's came back. He reported super fit along with the rest of the team, and his maturity level went up. He's a leader. He doesn't have to captain the armband, but every day he's leading stretches and just kind of, like Ben just said, rallying the troops, making sure we're all moving in one direction. And we feel like we can really trust him. So if it's time for us to call Talon's name, we're fully confident that he's going to be ready to go. And yesterday we saw it, and we said to each other a couple times on the bench, like, man, Talon's locked in. He's really honing this moment. So props to him for being prepared.
Yeah, the level of consistency with Talon from his freshman year to his sophomore year has been really impressive. And so that's what kind of held him back his freshman year, was just being consistent every day in practice, and then, not making those, shoot yourself in the foot type mistakes that we see from goalies sometimes, and now this year he's just been really, really consistent. So yeah, he's done well for us, and he had a great game yesterday. Played really well.
That's great to hear, especially to hear. I mean, you got to feel proud as a coach knowing, hey, we've had these players now for 1 or 2 years, many because we've had a lot of sophomores, a lot of returners, so a lot of them 2 years now. And have you seen any other improvements like this with Talon with a different player?
I would say another one is Jose Gonzalez. We brought in as a center mid, and we use him sometimes as outside back. Like yesterday, we used him as outside back just because we have a really deep midfield. But again, just the maturity level and just his overall what he can hone on in his skill set to make him successful in college soccer. So it's kind of one of those things where they show up from summer workouts in the preseason. We're kind of like, hey, what'd you do over summer? You're looking really good right now. So Jose is one of them. Cole rehabbing from injury, he's another one of them. So I mean, we were happy with a lot of our guys coming in from summer to how they looked in preseason.
Yeah, Sho Horry is another one that comes to mind. His freshman year he played in 5 games probably, and now this year he's played in every single game, started a bunch of games, scored a goal yesterday for us. I think he's just really kind of matured and really has a good understanding of college soccer and the physicality, and he's just, his consistency is just really high, right? So he's done a good job.
Awesome. That's now that's a really good feeling to have these players improving, and now hopefully they'll improve even more coming up with some region conference play. So we have on Friday here at home, ladies and gentlemen, fans, at home Friday we have NJC, Northeastern Junior College. Let's talk a little bit about them. What are we expecting?
Yeah, I think NJC's a tough team. They got their assistant coach was promoted to be the head coach, and so I think James has got a good group. He's got them organized, and they work really, really hard. They are just a really hard-working, gritty group. Run through the walls. Run through walls for you type players, and so they will be hard workers, very organized, tough to break down, and then they've got some skill. They got some really good players that can punish you, and so we expect them to come in and give us their best effort.
Okay. And what are we expecting versus Lamar once again at home on Saturday?
Yep, Saturday we quick turnaround, play Friday, Saturday. When we get into these region games, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, right? We play Friday, Saturday, and so Saturday we turn around, host Lamar, and so same thing. I think Lamar's the second year as a program. So last year was their first year as a program. This year's second year as a program, and so they're getting better. They're growing, continue to figure it out, and so same thing. We expect them to show up and want to win, right? And we talk about this that in college soccer, men's soccer, every team's got athletes, right? And they want to win. They're competitors, right? And they don't like to lose. And so, I think we're going to get their best effort. Same thing, Lamar's going to come. They're going to be fired up. They're going to want to get a result. And we're going to have to match that and, for us to get a result.
And so for these two games, for Friday, Saturday, what would you say would be your key to success for your team?
Again, I talked about it numerous times now, right? We got to put together a 90-minute game, right? And that's not shoot ourselves in the foot, right? And so as a team like ours that dominates possession in pretty much every game we play, can we not shoot ourselves in the foot, right? And so, we've gone back and watched the film. The past 3 goals we've given up has been self-inflicted, right? To start,
Right.
and so those kill you. And so again, we're trying to just put together a clean 90-minute game of clean soccer and give ourselves an opportunity to get a result.
Okay, well, let's end this on a really good note. And I forgot to ask this question because it's one of my favorite ones. Favorite moments from this past weekend and Wednesday from Central. What were some of your favorite moments that you saw?
Good question. I will go with Sho Hori, right? Scoring a goal yesterday. Set pieces. It was a set piece goal, and set piece goals are all about delivery. And so when you get consistent delivery, consistent service, into the box, it allows your players to be dangerous. And so late in the game yesterday, we finally got a good service, and Sho was ready for it and reacted perfectly for it, and scored that goal. And I think that's his first college goal.
Oh, okay.
And so that was cool. Very cool to see Sho score yesterday.
Did he celebrate with the sprinkler?
He should have. He should have celebrated the sprinkler. He didn't. I think he got the ball and ran back because maybe we
short
can
in time.
score the game winner in the last couple minutes there. But no, so good for Sho.
That is great. It's always nice to have a college goal.
Yep. And then so for me, I think it was actually off the pitch, but it was halftime at Western Nebraska. Coach and I were kind of step away from the team and gather our thoughts, but we had our team kind of gather up together waiting for us, but then they just stepped up and started talking. So like I said, we have a lot of leaders, Cole and Lewis leading the charge, and then other guys stepping up saying, hey, this is not the effort that we're happy with, so let's step it up because we know that we're better. So when that happens, me and Ben kind of take a step back and see what they're saying, and it's like, okay, like we agree with almost everything that they're saying. Maybe not every single thing that they're saying, but we like the reaction from them not being satisfied with just an average outing, and especially in front of our home crowd. So the fact that they can step up and vocalize their feelings and try to, like Coach said, rally the troops into one direction, then we like seeing that from our team, from a leadership standpoint.
All right. And as you said, it's now 0-0 your record. Now it's when it really matters, and hopefully, you had, yes, it was a rough weekend, but hopefully we can look forward and get back some W's. And I don't think we've recorded a shutout yet, have we?
We have not. We would love to have a shutout. Right? Connor said to me, upward and onward, right? And so we talked to the guys about peaks and valleys, and throughout the season, you hope that your peaks become higher, and you hope that your valleys become, not as deep. And so hopefully we can get on an upward trend here soon and try to peak at the right time.
I think we all are rooting for you and making sure that peak is super high. Thank you, coaches, for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. Until next time.